Here we go. It says broadcast is on. Okie dokie. Let's check it out. We are live. There's that 20-second delay. Lisa Pritt is in the house, guys. We're just going to wait another minute. We are live today. There's Lisa.
Hey, family.
We're starting something new every Wednesdays. Please check. Of course, it'll stay here on Facebook. My goal is now to basically pull women and do a live interview, a live discussion. Lisa was the first one to jump in there and say that she wanted to share her story. So because we're using this platform called StreamYard, she can't really see comments and all that. So I'll kind of shout out the comments and the questions that you guys can ask. And, feel free to connect with Lisa directly. She's amazing. I'll do it. Who's saying I'll do it? So guys, I'm using StreamYard. I'm sorry that I cannot see your name. But I'll see it in the Facebook group. I just don't see it in StreamYard, but I'll see it in the Facebook group. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start because it's already 101. So again, my name is Revi, founder of the Fearless Woman Tribe, passionate to empower women to know their worth. That's the macro level. And of course, the micro level is to really work and teach and inspire divorced women to recover, rebuild, release the fearless woman I know we were each born to be, and then find true love. So we've all gone through divorce. We've all had our heartache. We're dealing with it, and some of us have transformed already. And Lisa is definitely one of those super fearless women. Veronica says hello. Rivka says hello. So I'm handing the mic over to Lisa. She's going to share her story. If I have any questions, I'll butt in. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put it here on the comments and we'll ask her. Lisa, the stage is yours.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Revi, thank you so much for asking me to do this. I know I volunteered, but you were right in there with me. My goal, actually, my name is Lisa Pritt, and my mission in life is to love, inspire, and motivate women of all ages to just get through their crap and continue to go on like I have. I was born the youngest of three girls. I always remember my parents as being drinking parents. Raised by two alcoholics. I was bullied a lot growing up. You see, I've got nice full lips. Well, back in the 80s and 70s, it wasn't the thing to go get injections in your lips. The kids made fun of my lips. I also kind of walked funny. You know what? Kids can be so mean. So kids made fun of me. There was chaos in the home because of drinking. My sisters were older. My oldest sister, she's 7 years older. So she was 16 and I was 9. I can remember living in Indianapolis when she was a teenager, sitting in my room, just pounding my legs, saying, I hate myself. I hate myself. I hate myself. Now,
why made you, why?
Yeah, it was just the chaos that was going on around me and the kids making fun of me. I don't remember a lot of my childhood. I remember some camping trips. I remember getting a brand new bicycle for my 7th birthday. Little things here and there, but to go on further in life, we also moved about every 2 to 3 years growing up.
That's very hard.
So I was always the new kid. Today I can look back and say, I'm flexible anywhere I live. I can adjust anywhere I live. But back then, moving every 2 to 3 years, being made fun of by my peers, and it was crazy. So I grew up, became a teenager. I had my first drink at 17. Struggled with alcohol throughout my life. I'll get to that later. Met my first husband when first I flunked out of college. I went to Ball State, Indiana, in Muncie, Indiana. Went for 1 year. Wanted to study social work, because I wanted to be able to help people. I either wanted to work with pregnant teenagers or abused women.
Whoa.
So
just let's go real deep. Don't
Yeah.
mess around. Let's go.
No, that's my heart. I just want to help.
Wow.
Throughout my life, I've helped a lot of the wrong people.
What does that mean? What does that mean, wrong people?
The wrong people, people that take advantage of me, people that take advantage of my kindness. I don't have a mean bone in my body. I don't know how to be mean. And people took advantage of that up until now, because now I'm just about to burst out of my cocoon. So, but back to my story. I get sidetracked. So
I love it. I love it. It's all good.
Blah, 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 blah. Word vomit. So I met my first husband. I was 24 years old. I was a little bit of a drinker. We were married a few years, and I decided that he wasn't making me happy. So the marriage ended. We didn't have any children at that time.
Was he a drinker as well? Did he drink also, or
No,
just you?
No, just me. I was the drinker. And so we split after 7 years. And then a few months later, I realized, oh, I may have done the wrong thing. The grass isn't really greener on the other side. I still love him. Let me marry him again. So I married my first husband twice.
Again?
Yeah, I married him twice. He's a narcissist, just like my father. So I married him again, and out of that second marriage to my first husband came our amazing daughter, who will be 19 in September.
Incredible.
She is just, she's everything I never was as a teenager. She's confident. She's not going to let any boy take advantage of her. She's not going to do, and I'm like, that's my girl. I taught you well, because of the stuff that I went through. I've worked so hard that she didn't have to go through that. She's got a counselor at 18 years old. I'm very in tune to what she needs. She's my life.
We just now want to make sure that you get in tune to what you need, because now it's your time.
I'm working on it. I'm going to take
You're doing amazing.
I'm one step at a time. I hope my bestie is on here. She can attest to who I was before.
Wow.
But she probably is. Anyway, so we had Nora. When Nora was 5 years old, I found a large tumor in my breast.
What?
She was 5 years old. I was 37 years old. I'm a big girl, and I had taken off my bra one evening, and I said, God, it feels good to have that bra off. And I was like, wait a minute, what's that? And went to the doctor. First, I had a lumpectomy. And then I found out that the original surgeon didn't get wide enough margins. So I had a mastectomy as well with reconstruction. It was a malignant tumor, but I didn't have to have any chemotherapy or radiation or anything.
Incredible.
So that was when she was 5, and that was in 2006.
Were you still drinking this whole time too, Lisa?
Here and there, kind of here and there. Then fast forward to 2011, when I found my second purpose in life, and that's Origami Owl. I joined Origami Owl. I was number 100 to join the company. This is
wow.
Every locket tells a story. My husband at the time, Nora's dad, said, Nora's getting to be about 10 years old. It's time for you to stop being a stay-at-home mom and go out and find a job. Well, I found this company, and I've been with them. It'll be 9 years in December. Worked my way to the top.
Incredible, because you are the top. That says a lot about you.
Thank you. I'm in the Millionaires Club.
Oh, come on. That's incredible. Come on, Lisa.
I've had many assistants in the past. You know, at one time when I was married to Nora's dad, I had 5 people working in my house for me.
Come on.
I was drinking though. So I got to go back a little bit. Started with Origami Owl in 2011. 2012, we moved back to Florida. That's where the drinking became heavy again, because I got with the, you know, grown adult woman gets with the wrong crowd. My husband wasn't paying attention to me, so I was going out to the bars instead. I was out at the bar every night.
You were looking for that action.
I was looking for somebody to fill a need that I hadn't learned to fill myself.
Right. So true.
It's
true.
So Paul and whoops, I said his name. That guy, the first husband, I don't want to say his name.
John Jane, who cares? We should give them names. John Doe.
John Jingleheimer Schmidt. Anyway, that first husband, he I forgot where I was.
So you started going out, you started going to bars and drinking, and that's when the heavy drinking started.
Exactly. So I was drinking. We moved to South Florida. I actually lived in Pompano for a year. Hated it.
Look at that. I'm in Boca. You're so close.
Too many people there. Too many people down there for me. Then we moved up to Tennessee. When we moved up to Tennessee, I found a church that I got really in tune with, so I wasn't drinking.
By the way, I don't mean to interrupt you, Lisa. You know, it's amazing because I'm not hearing him. Like, I know once or twice you mentioned he's a narcissist, but during your whole journey here, which by the way, I love a lot because you're owning you. I almost like it more. But
oh yeah,
was he toxic? Like, did you have dysfunction with him during those years?
He wasn't a good communicator. He would get angry and he would shut down. He would get angry and give me the silent treatment. Then I turned that back on myself and said, there must be something wrong with me because he won't talk to me. He's a great guy, great dad. We're still good friends. He's the one that
just came up. Yeah, last week you guys all got to, and he's now maybe moving up there. So it's interesting. You still have a friendly relationship with him.
Yeah, and it's basic. It's pretty much for our daughter. She is grown now, but we were married for 21 years. And
that's a life. It's a life.
It was the alcohol that destroyed our marriage.
So Lisa.
So we moved back to Florida. In November of 2014, my mom was diagnosed with cancer.
Wow. By the way, Lisa Tedder showed up with 3 purple hearts. I just wanted you to see that because Lisa can't see the comments, guys. She'll see it on Facebook later. Oh, that's your bestie.
That's my girl.
Oh, 3 purple hearts.
That's my heart. Oh my God, I miss her. She's in Florida and I'm in Georgia. She's here. Anyway, so 2014.
You got 10 people watching, by the way. You got 10 souls watching your story. Woohoo! Then there'll be more later, obviously, because people are working and they're all over the world. But go on, my lovey. Sorry.
Okay. Anyway, my mother was diagnosed with cancer in November 2014. I was drinking really heavily at this point. I was drinking to get through her 5-week battle with cancer. When she was diagnosed, we found out that she had it in her lungs, her brain, her spine, and her spleen. And I was drinking to get through it. A few months after my mom died, my marriage with the first husband was on the rocks. Totally on the rocks. You know, my mom had just died. It was just horrible. So I went on a cruise and met this man in Jamaica.
While you were still married?
While I was still married. My mom had just passed away. It was 5 months later I met this dingbat, I'll say a nice word because we're live. This dingbat in Jamaica who asked me for my phone number. And of course I give it to him. So about a month or two later, I went back to visit him. Fell totally in love.
Right.
Because he was giving me what I needed.
He was adoring you. He was loving all over you. You were dehydrated plant. You were mourning, freaking out, numbing yourself. The guy's noticing you and you're like, you're feeling like you're freaking 15 years old. Like,
exactly.
It's completely alive.
Giving me what I needed. And, you know, just, there was this island man. It was so exciting. This is my fairy tale.
By the way, run away when that happens, FYI. But anyway, I get it. I get it.
I needed that in my life.
I know. It's all good, honey.
We began this relationship. He's in Jamaica. I'm in the United States. I find out after I fall in love with him, the man doesn't work. So I start Western Union him money for everything. He and his son. He had a little boy. His little boy was 5 at the time. I'm not going to let anybody go hungry. And if I had money, I'm going to give it to you. You know, if you don't have something and I do, here, let me give it to you. So that went on. We were together 2 years before one night at the bar when I was in the US, I was leaving in the bar and said, God, I hate myself. Man, I need to go to rehab or something. I was drunk as a skunk.
No one said anything. Did anyone say anything to you? Would your husband say, well, you were still married? You were still with your husband, or did you leave him? And no one called you?
I'm trying to remember if I was still married. When I went to rehab, I was in the divorce with him, I think. I can't remember. I've blocked that out too.
But you had a revelation that you're like, I don't like myself. That was your own revelation.
I hated myself.
What happened that moment? What was it at that moment that you had that revelation? What happened?
It was things that were leading up to that. Me going home at night after going to the bar and a friend coming to check on me, I was passed out in the front door. I can kind of laugh about this because it had happened before when I was drinking. I couldn't find my house key on the same house. And so I had somebody break the window to get me in, and my house key was in the bottom of my purse. I didn't drink and drive, thank God. But, you know, just getting myself into unpleasant situations. I went out to a gay bar with a bunch of friends one night. I ended up getting left behind. I was drunk. And I looked around, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. What's going on here? And somebody from the same town popped up. He's like, hey, I know you. Let me take you home. Whoa. And hopefully everything.
You were like, there. It was just cool. You were like, what's happening? You're like not even on this planet anymore.
It was horrible. I mean,
and you had that epiphany.
I was excusing horrible behavior. Somebody I didn't want to be.
Somebody I didn't want to be.
Allowing other behaviors from people that I thought were my friends. I felt like a poser, honestly. You know, because here I was at the top of this amazing company, but here I was, this drunk. You can't see my fingers.
You know, I always say you have this real you, Lisa, that you're out in the real world. That's really you. But if your heart, your emotional, your all that inside is broken, that's the real you. So and you had a fight, you know, the superwoman at the owl place with the origamis, and this is what was happening. And I'm glad to see that outer woman win, because sometimes the other one wins.
Right. So
You have power, man. You're strong, Lisa.
I
You're strong.
have.
You're strong.
Thank you.
You are
It took me a
you're
long time to
strong.
my strength.
Doesn't matter. That was your journey.
Yes, it is. And I was leaving the bar that night. It was always the same bar. I would show up. I'd give the bartender my keys because he was a good friend of mine. God rest his soul. He's since passed away. But I texted my best friend who lives in Mississippi, and I said, "Will you come to Florida and do an intervention with me?" I did. I was drunk. So I texted her, and at this time, my best friend, everybody knows now, my best friend Lisa and I were not best friends. We weren't talking at this time because we were both toxic at this time, and we had broken up as best friends.
Yes, she is one of the strongest women I know, Lisa's saying.
Yeah.
She's your family. She's your
Oh,
village.
oh, that's my girl.
We need a village.
She's
We
20
all
years
need a
younger
village.
than me. So I'm able to teach her. Don't go through the
Beautiful.
same crap I went through. So then after texting my best friend in Mississippi, I texted my niece. I said, I need help. And her brother had been to a rehab center. And so she kind of, she was familiar with addiction. So the next day, my team came together, my staff, my people that were my one person that was still working for me sat with me all day until I checked into the rehab center.
Incredible.
Yeah, I wasn't allowed to have a drink, which of course I wanted. We just sat there. I still smoked cigarettes at the time. And we just sat there all day until my niece took me to, I call it the rehab center.
Now, by the way, you were still with a Jamaican guy. You were already going through divorce with your husband, the
Yes.
father of your
Still with
daughter,
the guy.
but you were also still seeing the Jamaican guy.
Yes. And I told myself I had destroyed one marriage with alcohol. I wasn't going to destroy another one. So I was in this treatment center for 32 days.
Incredible.
I came out, I came out 32 days sober and didn't know where to go from there. I texted my best friend and I said, by the way, I'm sober now. I hope we can reconnect. And I hope she doesn't get me later for saying this, but she had gone through something as well. Her father committed suicide while I was in treatment. So we connected and I was just able to love on her, because that's what I do.
So
So
you both
sorry,
went
Lise.
through a tragic loss of parents as well. Obviously for different reasons, but very sudden and very tragic. So that connection is very powerful, very powerful.
Exactly. So the Jamaican and I spent, let's see, I got out of the treatment center 4 years ago. We spent another year back and forth. I was finally able to bring him to America. It took me
And in your mind, you were madly in love with
3.5
this
years.
guy. You were madly in love with this
I held
guy.
on 3.5 years trying to get him here. Totally in love with this guy. I thought he was it. You know what? I look back and I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but I look back and say, how did I fall in love with somebody that can't even read?
Well, you were
I
desperate.
needed it.
You were desperate.
I, you know,
We were desperate. You can't, I always say, no matter where we are, you were
think
not in a good place. You weren't in a good place.
I needed something to pour and fill that void. And that's what I thought I had. So I brought him to America. Oh, Lord goodness. It was the man, first of all, he took a butcher knife and was trying to cut the weeds in the backyard. And that's when I was like,
Who is
wait.
this man?
So most of the time also he spent out in the garage because the AC was too much for him. Now this Jamaican, he didn't live in a decent area of Jamaica. He came from the poor area.
What? But how long was he with you then? How long were you married to him here in the States when he came out and he was with you? How long were you guys together in the States?
He got here October the 9th, and he took off December the 9th.
2 months. So finally, so this whole time, the only time you really saw him was on the cruise, and I think you said you went to visit him once in Jamaica.
I went back and forth numerous times. I've been to Jamaica. I never want to go back.
Well, obviously it's a bad memory for you,
I went
clearly.
back every couple of months.
When he left you, so he left after 2 months, he left you. How did that work? Like, was there a fight, or one day you woke up, he wasn't home?
Oh my God, it was crazy.
Crazy.
It was crazy the whole time he was there.
You had crazy in your life.
He had his little, how old was he? 8-year-old son at the time. He was living here with us in the States.
Wow.
I had gotten him here. I had gotten him in school. Every day at school, the child.
You took care of everything. You took care of their papers. You were rescuing and saving the whole world.
Even a little boy.
You were out there and your need to be needed was so intense. You were so needy to be needed. You were so needy for that you were gonna save everything.
Exactly.
And
of
exploded in your face.
You know, they were here, and I mean, I guess the way over on the island they deal with their kids to discipline them, they slap them across the face.
Yeah, well, we can't, we can't go there. Obviously, every culture and all that.
We had DCF at our house one night.
Awful. What happened when he left? What was the impetus of that?
Okay. Yes, we had gotten in an argument. I was ready to let him go back to his island, let him go back to his country. It's okay. We'll do whatever we need to do. I'll send you back. It's okay. Well, the next day I was out somewhere and he showed up at my house. One of the other kids called me and said, he's here with the police. He's taking his stuff and he's taking his son.
Oh my gosh. And he left.
And I was like, what is wrong with me? What caused him to leave? What is wrong with me? Well,
another revelation. You had another revelation.
I thought that there was something wrong with me to cause him to leave.
Oh, you thought there was something wrong with you I thought you were saying like this whole thing, like you were looking at blame for you as to why he left, not like why you had all this drama in your life.
I was blaming myself for why he left.
Oh my gosh, look at that, Lisa. When was this now? When did this happen? 2 years ago, October?
And December of 2018.
So around a year and a half ago.
Yes. So soon after that, I started getting on the dating apps because I needed somebody.
Did you go to therapy? Did you go to therapy and figure out what?
Yes.
Did it help you?
I went weekly. Yes, it helped me tremendously. But honestly, not to call you out, but I've probably gotten further with you in a month than I did because I'm ready for that now. I went to counseling every week because I had to learn there was nothing wrong with me and I couldn't fill that void. I had to fill that void with myself. It's
amazing how difficult it is to do because you know why it's hard for us to fill our own void? Because we don't think we deserve it.
We feel worthy.
It's awful. It's just like it's so over. We're so not doing that anymore.
I had to
Susan says hi, by the way, and somebody else said good morning. I don't know who that is, but they're saying hi to you. We got a good 9 people that are riveted. They're riveted to you, Lisa.
So this guy, he leaves and I go through counseling. In the meantime, I've quit smoking cigarettes too.
You're like amazing.
I've also quit drinking soda.
Amazing.
But I still didn't feel worthy. I mean, how could I feel worthy? I've had 2 divorces in 5 years. So it's taken me, and I hate to jump the gun, but you guys can see now I know I'm worthy. It wasn't any.
What do you think happened? When did that happen? Like, what started happening to you if you started really owning that?
Moving away from my dad. My dad and I are very close still, even though he is a narcissist. He wants to tell me how to do things. I was having lunch with him twice a week. Now I see him once a month, and that's much better for my personal growth. I moved to Savannah. My daughter and I moved to Savannah at the beginning of May. I bought a house.
Come on, this is
I
amazing.
need a man to buy my house. I bought me a house.
Lisa.
I got a coffee bar. It's just, I love it. I love it. So the Jamaican is in New York.
Did you guys get a divorce yet? Are you divorcing?
Yes, the divorce was final June 28th of 2019.
You are a free woman. Finally. First husband again. You were with Jamaican before you even left the first husband, second husband. Thank God. Hallelujah.
Oh my
Thank
God.
God.
I love being single.
Freedom. We need to put that George Michael video on. Freedom. I mean, come on, man. It's so good. It's so good.
I want somebody in my life, but I don't want somebody so steady that he tries to tell me how to run my life.
You listen, like, yeah, but I love that you're saying you want and you don't need.
When I got out of treatment in 2016, I couldn't stand to be alone. I was afraid to be alone.
What was scary about being alone for you at that point?
Being inside my head, not knowing who I was, I hadn't found myself yet. I hadn't discovered my likes and my dislikes. I'm still learning. I'm still in infancy and sobriety. It's amazing.
Infancy and sobriety. Wow.
And now I'm on this weight loss program. I've lost 16 pounds.
Come on, Lisa.
And not even 3 weeks.
Come on.
I'm happy. Yeah. So the Jamaican dude, my bestie isn't going to like this, but he tried to call me the other night. And for a second, I thought, maybe I'll answer and just tell him off. It's not worth my breath. It is not worth my breath. And
it is not worth my breath. I love that.
No, I don't have time for that. Because he'll be like, oh, Lisa. No, I ain't got time. So the reason I met him was to help me become sober.
Good job, Lisa, Andrea says. You better not. Your Lisa bestie is just saying, make different choices. It is empowering is what Susan is saying.
I'm not going to talk to him. I don't have time. And the reason why he left was to help me find my worth and my strength. Thank God. I can't imagine being with him now. Oh my goodness.
You never will be because you were still here. Now you're here. You'll never see him. Yeah.
And now I want to help other people realize they can too. Our Creator didn't put us on this earth, whether it's no matter who your higher power is, they put us on the earth to be us. Don't try to be somebody else that you're not. You know, I'm quirky as heck. I'm goofy as heck. I love making TikToks and just being silly. And I love that about myself. I make people laugh. So that's it.
I just love that you said that, because the fact that you own that you're quirky and that, you know, you own that and you like that. And you're smiling when you say that because you own you. You're now owning you. That's why now you're not interested in the guy. Like, yeah, of course you want to date. It's very normal to want to date. But your visceral need right now isn't that. Your visceral need is to help other women, you know, be out there, be involved here. I mean, you're the first one that stepped up sharing a story like this. I mean, you were very vulnerable. You really opened up. That's
me. I'm, you know, if I can help somebody, and The vehicle for me when I started to do that was this. With this company, I can bring people in, wrap my arms around them and say, you can get here too. Especially people that want to leave their husbands, you know, or want to create a new life for themselves and their husband.
Right.
You know, you don't. I love this company. They were the first thing that helped me love myself because I worked my way to the top.
It enabled you this opportunity to prove yourself. You were in a competitive environment. I believe competition is healthy. I like competition.
Oh, yeah, I love competition.
I like competition. We play backgammon with me, Lisa. I'll go for your jugular.
How,
oh yeah, okay, good. Because when I play backgammon, I'm like, I'm in to win, okay? But you competed really with yourself. Good evening. It's 9:30. Terja roommate saying, oh, I don't know. It must be very late for her. Oh, and Andrew said, exposed with no fear, hats down. That's right. That's what Andrew is saying about you, that you exposed yourself with no fear. It's incredible. But you're right. Like, that company allowed you to prove to yourself. No one's doing it for us, right, Lisa?
No, I had to do it myself. I mean,
you had an opportunity, but you went in.
Yes.
You took the chance. You did the work. You put in the time.
My higher power put this opportunity in front of me and said, what can you do with it? And I've got this house. I still I make 6 figures a year. You know, I don't make $1 million, but I will brag for a second. This was
baby, brag.
This was several years ago. I got a commission check one month for $259,000. Most people don't make that. I was like, whoa.
You're sharing to women in this group.
And I was drinking.
And you were doing that when you were drinking. Imagine now what's going to happen. You better add a 0 to that number. I expect you to make 7 figures. That should be your bogey, girlfriend.
It is
7 figures, not 6.
Mm-hmm.
You did that in that environment. Imagine how it can be now. Imagine.
It would go away.
It will go away. Once the vaccine comes up, it's going to be like, you know, we're in a war right now. It's called World War III with a germ war. You know, when that it's going to come out, guys. Everyone should know that. You have to know that when that vaccine comes out, it's going to be like V-Day after World War II, where, you know, the soldier kissed the nurse over there in Times Square. I don't know if you're familiar with that scene. I have to post it up. It's going to be incredible. So everyone has to be ready for that. We have to put all our ducks in a row because that vaccine will come and everything will be so euphoric. It's going to be like the Roaring 20s. I believe it. I believe it. You must believe in that. You must believe in our world and in our country and our universe for that to happen. That is how you do things, with the belief of certainty. If you can make 6 figures drunk, right. Lisa, I'm almost like, oh my God, I'm glad I know you. I can say I knew her when. I knew Lisa when.
Can I tell a funny story about my best
Yes.
friend? Okay.
Yes.
I met her, I think it's been about 10 years ago. I met her because I was looking for a babysitter for our daughter. And I went onto a website, I think it was babysitter.com or care.com, looking for a babysitter. And I found this chick. And
you found Lisa, your other Lisa.
Yes, I found my other half. And so that's how I found her that many years ago. And then when we moved back to Florida, after I found Origami Owl, she was my assistant for a while for Origami Owl. And now she's just a beautiful mama of 2 little boys.
Oh,
but
beautiful.
I thank that website for bringing her to me.
I'm working now. She's saying I'm working now to get, Terja is saying it. So I thought it was Lisa. Terja is saying, somebody says, I want to know more. You're going to have to go to the comments in the group. Okay. When we're done, Lisa, go back into the Facebook tribe, the group itself, and read the comments, because people are saying they want to know more. Amazing. And Terja, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. I'm working now to get my 6 figures, best company to work. So awesome. She must be, I wonder if she's working there too. Terja must be working. Terja, do you work there as well? I wonder if Terja works there as well. So that's how you met Lisa, was from that babysitting, and now she's got 2 boys.
She used to be my daughter's babysitter.
Look at that. She's saying, amen. I thank God we found each other all those years ago. That came from Lisa. That's what she just wrote.
Awesome.
You know, when you're ready for good, good comes.
Uh-huh.
But you have to be ready for it, and you have to want it. What company Susan is saying? Can you repeat the company again, Lisa, the name of the firm that you're at?
It's called Origami Owl.
Origami Owl. And Susan, Lisa wrote a comment on it before. Brief coincidence. Lisa wrote a whole thing about it. Maybe you can do it again, Lisa. Put more information on there or respond to them.
My website is www.lisa.origamiowl.com.
Put it like, maybe respond to them. When you go into the group, just respond to each one of them. Yeah.
We are
amazing.
We are independent distributors. There is a small fee to join the company, but it's like a franchise.
Of course. Oh, by the way, somebody wrote, I'm ready for good. That's what the truth is, right? Lisa, wouldn't you agree? We have to make the decision.
We have to be welcoming and say, okay, that's enough crap.
Right. I mean, you have to bye-bye.
I don't
enough.
God, that just sucks everything out of me. I'd rather get up in the morning and I feel amazing and I love myself. And sometimes I do have those doubts in my head, but then I just push them. I mean, I don't push them away, say, no, I'm not depressed. I'm just sad because so-and-so just passed away. Or I'm just sad because this just happened. I'm not depressed anymore.
You know what I love? This is really important. I want to point it out. First of all, I loved what you did with your hand. You went pushed. You actually took your hand and you went pushed away. Sometimes with thoughts, we have to create a physical movement to really feel that emotion. That's number one. Number two, what I love even more that you did, guys, and this is a really important way of handling it. When Lisa went there, she then used her brain and said, wait a minute, that's not true. And I'm not depressed. I feel sad because, and she made a valid, logical reason.
I own it.
That's good.
And I give it a name. I'm not depressed. I'm, there's so much going on out in the world, but I don't care what's going on out in the world right now. If there's something,
who do you care about?
I care about me and my daughter.
Yes, of course.
That's all. I mean,
you know what's beautiful, Lisa? When we start, this is exactly what happens. When we start caring about us, we can then go macro. See, human nature is macro. We all good people want to help. It's human nature. But you can't help if you're not whole, if you're not good.
First, love yourself. First, love yourself. You can't put out what you don't have.
Terje roommate says, no, I have my own little business. I'm an accountant and you're the best. Cute. And it's me, Lisa, who messages you on TikTok. Oh, cute. We have so many Lisas here. You guys are like gorgeous Lisas. And Terje saying, origami was my childhood passion. Yesterday, I thought I'd have to pick up this habit again. You're amazing. Beautiful. Beautiful. No, it's so true that you do that. So when you get those thoughts, you analyze and you reason what it is.
Exactly. They can't stay inside my head. If I can't talk, here's another thing I've learned that's so important. If I can't reach out to somebody and share how I'm feeling, I've got to write them down on paper. Don't leave them inside my head to fester. Get them out of.
Express. Don't suppress. Express. I love that.
I love that.
I couldn't make that up when it happened.
My niece was here last night. She's going through a rough time. And she's like, I'm sorry I just put all this on you. I said, no, you've got to express, not suppress. I used it. I'm learning so much.
I'm so happy. You're making me so happy. It's just expression of feelings and writing. It just the minute you feel better, you can look for better, because when you feel badly, you're going to validate,
Ugh.
right? We seek evidence to validate what we're feeling. So look where you bought a house. Is this the first time you bought a house in your own name?
Yes. Yes, ever. It used to be the first husband I bought my,
With
and I
him.
rented for the last 5 years. And it's funny because the Jamaican used to say, no, you need a house of your own. You need to own a house. And now I own a house and bye, sucker.
I like, sometimes, I know that sometimes, with men, they can be toxic and dysfunctional, but we learn something from each man, and each human is an opportunity to learn. So even though this man, he did pour a lot of love on you.
He gave me what I needed at the time.
Real, fake, pretend, green card, we don't really care. We're not going to go there. That's called mind drama. We don't go there.
I'm not
But
going to put blame. I
he
forgive.
poured love on you.
Mm-hmm.
And he put this idea of buying your own house. He stuck that. You were the one that brought it up. He said, own your own house.
Yep. And I do. And I mean, the conditions that we lived in there, I humbled myself. There were reasons for him being in my life. Took me a long time to forgive him. But once I did, it was so freeing.
Relief.
Just because I forgive doesn't mean I'm going to talk. I don't want to talk to him. But I had to let it go because it was weighing me down.
That's right. It weighs us down. You're forgiving. That doesn't mean like you've learned, but you're going to forgive because that's for you. We forgive not for him. We forgive for us.
Exactly. And now he's not worthy of me. So
of course, well, we know that obviously. Yeah. I mean, yeah. There's a whole, you were married for how long were you legally married? Just for like a year?
We married in, just over a
Yeah,
year.
just so you know, I'm not an immigration attorney, but years ago I worked in an immigration law firm. He's going to have major problems with his green card because there's something called the conditional resident and he has to remove it. So don't worry, girlfriend. Don't worry. Don't worry. You're going to get it.
That comes up in October, girlfriend.
Oh, darn it. You're going to be on a cruise. Let's go to Europe. Okay, let's go to Italy. Okay, let's see. Lisa. Oh, she loves the saying. Lisa, you're gorgeous, Lisa. I'm going to start saying it and doing it. Don't suppress, express. And somebody else said, I'm sorry, I can't say your name again because it's StreamYard, but I believe I met my husband to get me to where I am today. I'm in love with my home and have a beautiful daughter. We get to just be so grateful, like when we go through all this pain and it's turmoil and it's toxic and it's ugly. But like you said, when you forgive, truly, you forgive you're forgiving him and you're forgiving the whole, but we're the winners. We win.
Exactly.
We win. You said the weight was lifted, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, and I had to divorce him by default because he was in New York. Wow. So it was a divorce by default. And I was so glad to just, and I wrote a letter to immigration and said, as of this date, I'm no longer responsible for them. They left. And it comes up in October. He did have a CR.
Yes, conditional residence. Yes, I know very much about it. Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming. It's gonna be amazing when he's out of here.
Oh gosh, that's bad. Oh,
and oh my gosh, his son ended up just being. Oh my gosh.
Listen. I don't like to go there. I don't like to start going there. But I love that you set yourself free. I love that you took ownership of you. You're sober, you're losing weight, you're eating well, you're with your daughter. You went to Savannah, you went away from your dad. You honor your dad because he's your father, but you recognize that he was draining you. Leaving him was good for you. You see him now once a month. Your husband came, You have healthy relationship because you recognize it's the father of your daughter. Like, this is successful business. Like, come on, man.
Come
Sober.
on.
Come on.
I don't smoke cigarettes anymore.
But you're full of life. You're enlightened. You're enlightened and you're full of life because you got it. When we get it is when we have you. That's what you have. So you have this aura around you. You have this, you're light. Before you were heavy. It's real. It's real. The weight is it's invisible, but it is real. Now, Lisa, you're light. You're light.
Oh,
You are. You're light. I
thank you.
see it and I feel it. And in that space, we attract that. We attract that. Not to mention your instinct now is so good. You're like, oh no, like you'll know, you will know right away.
Oh
So
yeah,
you
I was talking to some dude this morning on one of the apps, and he put up a red flag, and I said, "Nope, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. I'm running fast."
remember you sent me a message about, boundaries. Do I tell them? I'm like, boundaries are not for us to tell them. Hell no. Boundaries is for us to know what my boundaries are. And if he crosses them, that's
Bye.
it.
That
Been
makes
done that.
sense. I'm learning. You're teaching me.
You're amazing. You're
Thank you.
amazing.
Thank you.
You are amazing. So if anyone wants to reach out to you, Lisa, how could they reach out to you? Can they connect with you on Facebook?
Connect with me on Facebook.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
Just send me a friend request. Lisa
Perfect.
Pritt, Pritt. And I welcome friends. I welcome.
Beautiful.
I'm so grateful to have this opportunity that I was able to share with everybody.
I'm so happy. You're truly an inspiration to so many women. You have surpassed cancer, alcoholic parents, your alcoholism, attracting a total predatorial man who he just totally. But I want to remind you that everything you did was out of your heart. Like, this was not on you. Like, this is not for you to blame. This was a predatorial man who just, but you're such a beautiful soul, and God always, always takes care of us. Always. I believe in that too. I truly do.
Thank you.
So I love that you're where you are today.
It's amazing. I just keep going. I'm in my cocoon, but I'm ready to bust out.
I think you have busted out, honey.
Okay,
guys, so we're going to end it now. We're almost an hour into the call.
Amazing.
So thank you, Lisa, for your time. I love you. You're a beautiful woman.
I got to do this for Lisa.
Woohoo!
Love
you, everyone, guys. Thanks for everyone. Ciao.
Thanks so
Thank
much.
you, Lisa. Thank you for a beautiful, beautiful live.